listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest, repeat offender and wine expert extraordinaire. Michael Cox is in the house.
Pleasure to be here, Ron.
Glad to have you with us.
Thanks,
I am
man.
looking forward to chatting about wine and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, me too, as a matter of fact.
Two of my favorite things, right? Drinking and eating. What else can you go? How else can you go wrong?
What a feast Thanksgiving is, too. So, I'm excited.
Absolutely. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We are celebrating, how can you go wrong? I looked at the items here. National Great American Smokeout. Okay, I can deal with that one. It's I guess it's just like a ho-hum. Then you look at it, National Indiana Day.
This is ridiculous.
I couldn't go there. National Button Day. Why would we even celebrate a button? I don't know. Fast Food Day, though. I can go along with Fast Food Day. That one works for me. How about you? Think about national. Of course, at my size, any kind of food will do, so we'll go with whatever makes you happy. We are looking Dow Jones Industrial up 195 points. I'll tell you why in just a minute. Oil down 20 cents per barrel. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. And we are looking at the 10-year treasuries. They're up just a little bit, 2.35. That's the one. Be careful of the 10-year treasury. Why do we want to be careful of the 10-year treasury? It's the one that tells us a little bit about mortgage rates. It gives us the front end of what's happening in the mortgage world. And yes, I know I tell you about the mortgages every morning, but here's the issue. We got the Fannie Mae comes out, or Freddie Mac comes out every Thursday morning. They give us their mortgage market survey. Every week we get the set of numbers Thursday morning, unless it's a holiday. So next week we won't have it on Thursday, obviously. But they come out and they tell us what the market's doing. So today we looked at the 30-year fixed rate loan, 3.95% according to Freddie Mac, 3.94 last year. Now, 3.94, that's the number that I want you to be aware of, because last year, from the 10th of November to the 17th of November, interest rates went up 40 basis points, almost 3/8 of a point in 1 week. Could it happen again? What was the leading indicator for that? Yeah, the Federal Reserve announced an interest rate hike, that they were going to continue raising interest rates. They've already told us they're doing that. Why is the stock market up right now? I'm looking at the S&P 500, up 19.32. Why? It has to do with the tax bill. The House of Representatives is coming through saying that they've got the votes to pass the tax bill. Stock market will probably take a big jump. Now, that's only on one side. They've got to get the Senate to go along with something, and we know what it's like getting the Senate to do anything these days. But the idea there is the House bill, and don't believe all the malarkey you're getting on the news. I mean, they're just a bunch of baloney. And think about this one. They talk about the high tax states. Yes, California is one of them. We love to tax everything we possibly can. And then we say it's all for the benefit of the poor, the homeless, yet we go and raise taxes on gas, which affects them more than anybody else. Think about that concept. But I'm looking right now at what the markets are doing, and the tax bill is going to save everybody money. I've analyzed a lot of tax returns. One of the beauties of doing leading a lending team is that I see lots of people's taxes. I can't tell you who they are. That wouldn't be right. But I can tell you I've looked at the income. I've looked at their adjusted gross income. I've looked at their taxable income. And I've looked at their tax liability. And then I look at what the House tax bill says. And almost every one of them, in fact, there's only been one I've analyzed so far that has not got a tax break from the bill, and we're in the state of confusion. Taxifornia loves to tax everybody. The states that are mostly against the bill are California, some parts of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. Why are those states against the tax bill? Because they're getting subsidized by the federal government. When they tax you more here in California, the federal tax liability drops. Shouldn't be that way. Everybody should pay the same federal tax and then let your states deal with what you want. But with the doubling of the standard deduction, I think the last number I heard was 94% of Americans will not take the mortgage interest deduction. So it's not going to affect you. They're not going to take the state and local tax deduction. It's not going to affect you. So don't listen to all the hype as they go through and tell you all this malarkey, because it sounds good. It's a good soundbite. Now you think about Nancy Pelosi. Should we ever believe Nancy Pelosi? I mean, I don't understand that one.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Right. She's been telling us right along that, well, we don't know what's in the bill, and we haven't had a chance to read it. Should I repeat this soundbite from right before Obamacare?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Now, the only thing I can think of here is maybe she's learned to read in the last 5 years. I doubt it, but maybe that's the whole issue. Maybe she's learned to read and wants to look at some of this stuff. I don't know. But then we look and see what the Senate is saying. What are the comments from the Senate? Well, their commentary is, and I love this one, and I like it's pretty interesting the way they're doing this. Senator Ron Johnson has announced that he's opposing the bill the way it sits. Now, he came out this morning and clarified, said, I want to get to yes, I want to do it, but he's opposing the way it sits right now. Why is he opposing it? Well, he's saying that it's not equitable, the pass-through tax at 25% and the corporate tax at 20%. Makes sense. Think about that. If you're a small business, if you're a sub-S, LLC, number one, if you are a sub-S or an LLC and you're registered in the state of confusion here, well, you got to talk to a different tax person because they're messing you up. But if you're doing that the right way, wouldn't it make sense that the C corporation, the big corporation, is paying 20% and a pass-through should get the same rate? Makes sense to me, so maybe they'll change it. We'll see. Looking more down the road, what's happening now? I gotta love this one. I'll get to the Roy Moore story in just a minute, but Barack Obama back in the news. Amazing how we've got to continue this.
So I know whose ass to kick.
Maybe he can do it to himself. I don't know if he can kick himself in the rear end. I'm not sure. But taking a look, now he wants to use the Texas tragedy, the massacre, the shooting in Texas, to advance his gun legislation. It's not guns, Mr. President. You should understand that. Of course, Elizabeth Warren, she doesn't even understand that she's not an Indian, but that's a different issue. So, she used that one as a lie, so that's why I bring that up. But here's the issue that we want to think about. What did President Obama in his 8 years in office do to help with mental health? Because the one common denominator, the guy with the truck, he didn't have a gun. Well, he had it on the front seat. But he killed people with a truck. There's been killed people with knives. We've killed people with guns. But the one thing in common is mental health, and we're doing nothing for that. Prop 47 and 57 in the state of confusion, horrible on the mental health issue. Yet they want to keep talking about guns. Maybe eventually we'll talk about the real issues and help try and solve a problem. Amazing. Abandonment is the next topic. Can you think about this one? Now, what do Roy Moore and Bill Clinton have in common? Roy Moore and Bill Clinton. No, I don't mean that. I'm talking about their parties are abandoning each of them. Finally, liberals are starting to say, you know something, maybe we shouldn't have been so forgiving of President Clinton. What's that, about 20 years late now, or a little more than that? Unbelievable there. But Roy Moore, think about that one. I don't have daughters. I've got nieces. I can't tell you what I would think about a guy or do about a guy like this if they were going after my 14-year-old niece. It would get me in trouble, and we're publicly broadcasting, recorded here. I can't say that. But holy cow, if and it's a big if because nothing's proven, the man's innocent until proven guilty, if he's done what he says he's done, everybody should be uniformly against the individual. I just have to wonder, when you've served this many years in the public sector, did he really do it? Why are these people coming out today after all these years? He's been a judge for all this time. Why are they just coming out now? Got to wonder about that one, but we'll continue to watch. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio. Some shout-outs. Simon, glad to see you with us. Ron, Jeff, Roger, Lisa, Azita, Rich, back in California. Paula, great seeing you at the event last night. Linda, glad to see you as well. Glad to have all of you watching and participating. If you've got some wine commentary, if you want to know about wine, go ahead and put them right there in the Facebook page, and we'll see if we can throw some questions at our guru, Michael Cox, in the house. I don't think we're going to stump him, so we'll throw those at him, and get his thoughts, his opinions. We're going to also talk a little bit about, are your friends crazy if they're telling you to buy a house? We'll chat about that one. 1 in 5 American households, zero or negative wealth being at our technical difficulties, and our talk with the fire chief yesterday. I didn't chat about that. We'll get to all these things and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, at Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. And as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Your friends are crazy wrong if they're telling you not to buy a house right now. Amazing how many people are out. You know, it's kind of a funny thing. A lot of times when we don't know something, that's when we get the most excitement about giving advice. So if we don't know about, I can tell you that I'm not a fan of needless Marcus or Neiman Marcus, right? I've never been in one, right? I've hardly ever been in one. I don't know anything about it, but I can say I'm not a fan of it just because of rumors I've heard. Right? You probably have done the same thing. Someone's come to you with a business idea. I'm against it. I just don't know. But you don't know anything about it. So right now, there's all kinds of folks out there saying, don't buy a house. And the current narrative is that home prices have risen so much that it is no longer a smart idea to purchase a home. Family, friends might suggest that buying a home right now, whether a first-time home or a move-up, makes absolutely no sense from an affordability standpoint. Well, guess what? They are wrong. Homes are more affordable right now than almost any time in our country's history, except for the foreclosure years 2009 to 2015, when homes sold at major discounts. As an example, I shared a graph from Black Knight Mortgage Monitor showing the percentage of median income needed to buy a median-priced home in the country today by comparison to prior to the housing bubble and the bust. The percentage of median income needed to purchase the median priced home, so that's in your neighborhood. 1995 to 1999, 24.2%. 2000 to 2003, 26.2%. Today it's 21.4%. As we can see, the percentage necessary is less now than in those time periods. The Mortgage Monitor also explains that home affordability is better today than it was in the late 90s. In 47 of 50 states, California is not one of them. But if you can afford it, go do it. Bottom line, your friends and family have your best interest at heart. However, when it comes to buying your first home or selling your current house to buy the home of your dreams, let's chat about your situation, you and I, and because your situation is not the same as your next door neighbors. Just the way it is, that is the real-time real estate segment. Again, being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. So we are chatting today. Michael Cox has been gracious enough to come back in and join us and chat about wine. And most specifically, Michael comes in, he's an expert in wine as it is, but he comes in most specifically, we like to chat about, this time about Thanksgiving. Good morning.
Good morning.
So Thanksgiving is an interesting one because it's one of my favorite holidays because I get to start eating the minute I get up, which I usually do.
Sure,
and
no problem there.
By the time I fall over at the end of the day, that's when we kind of stop. So I'm not going to ask you what I'm going to drink before I get in the car to drive down to the beach and walk. That might cause a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, certainly. After you get back from the walk.
After I get back from the walk, football's on.
There you go.
So what are we drinking with football?
Well, I mean, of course, if you're just getting the party started, there's nothing better than bubbles.
Okay.
That's always a great way to bring in your guest and certainly prepare them for a fantastic evening. And
we haven't got to the evening yet. We're only at 9 in the morning.
See, that's my problem. I don't watch football. I don't know what time it starts.
Okay.
It's so sad, calling me out like that.
Sorry about that. First thing in the morning, we're drinking.
Hey, okay, so it's morning. Okay, so you put some orange juice in those bubbles.
Okay, so we got bubbles with OJ.
You've got some mimosas, and if you put it in a beer stein, it's called a manmosa. Because that, certainly you can feel better about watching your football and drinking your champagne and orange juice in a beer stein.
You know something? That makes a lot of sense. I've got a friend, he's not watching right now, but I'm going to tell him about this, Don, because I always kid him about, he's a masculine guy.
Sure.
But every once in a while, they'll bring a drink to him and they'll put a flower in it, and I'm right there to take a picture to harass him.
Hilarious.
So instead of giving him the little fancy champagne glass with orange juice, it's beer stein.
Yeah.
And fill it up.
Of course. Of course.
So now it's one of those big beer steins. We're using a multiple bottle with him.
It's definitely a manmosa. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we're starting off with the manmosa, and maybe we might have to go with a Bloody Mary, but I know that's not a wine drink.
No, not at all. But there's nothing wrong with starting your day with a Bloody Mary. One of my favorite cocktails to begin the day. On my day off, of course.
On your day off, of course. Okay, so we've got the manmosa and the bubbles. So we're down maybe almost at lunchtime now. Maybe a little bit, because the first game halftime is probably going to be around 11 a.m.
Sure.
I'll give you the details of the game.
Yeah, appreciate it. I appreciate it. Halftime. I know what happens then. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so halftime, we're about 11 a.m. Where do we... we're on the second course, maybe some appetizers or something.
I think that's a great way to play it. If you're going to be enjoying food all day long, you're going to have a progressive evening with some light bites during lunch. Depends on what you're having, but usually those football-like appetizers usually have some spice to it. They've got a little bit of fat with them. So, again, I think high-acid white wines are fantastic with that.
Wait, back up. High-acid white wine.
Yeah. Yes, things like Pinot Gris, things like dry Rieslings. If you like your wine a little bit sweet, and off-dry Riesling, a little bit of sweetness isn't bad either. It's all about your personal flavor profile. Rosés are fantastic for that type of fare. So, and I'm not talking about your grandmother's White Zinfandel, though I have no problem with that. That's what we call gateway wine. That's where everybody starts.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's like the Tickle Pink when we were in high school. I mean, right after we turned 21.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Of course, some of us were 21 in high school.
Yeah, and hey, we're all slow learners.
Exactly.
Some of us are.
Exactly. Well, practice. I guess it's practice. We're practicing.
The rosés of Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, these are all fantastic wines that have a lot of flavor to them. They're very versatile with those small bite-like foods that we had just mentioned, like hot wings, or I don't know, even maybe you're doing some cocktail weenies that have been beer battered and fried.
So let me put you on the spot real quick here, because now I'm gonna really challenge you.
Got it. Okay.
So obviously a shameless plug, right? I get my wines. In fact, hold up. There's a box over there on the floor from Falling Bright Wine Merchants.
That's us.
My wine delivery coming in right now. So we'll have some good wine. What do we have in stock at Falling Bright? And I'm thinking in the whites because of the way we are. Something in the $15 to $30 range.
There is a fantastic rosé that we have by Dave Feeney, his Locations brand. It's all French grapes, mainly Grenache based. It's fantastic. I think it's right at around $18.
Okay.
It is delicious. Highly recommend that wine, as a matter of fact. There's a couple other white wines. We have got a beautiful Sauvignon Blanc called Sea Fog that is made by an incredible winemaker named Thomas Rivers Brown, one of my favorites, as a matter of fact. It is just fantastic. And those are just two really great opportunities. We've also got a couple of sparkling wines as well. There's a beautiful producer called Breton that we carry their sparkling wines, and they are amazing values, and they are incredibly high quality.
So for those of us that are the wine novice, sparkling wine, I'm going to call it a champagne.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah,
because it's not from the Champagne region, but it's so they can't put that on the label.
And funny enough, this producer, actually Breton, is from the region of Champagne. So truly, it is a champagne, but it is, yes, as the layman would say, it is a sparkling wine. But those sparkling wines that are made domestically, just like you were saying, same production method. But yeah, you're right. The French don't want us messing with their stuff, so we have to call it sparkling wine. They leave the direction of champagne to their product exclusively. Okay, that sounds like that's good stuff. So we've now one of the things I always that we have to be careful of as we go through our consumption experience is we got to make sure that we're not getting too heavy, too out of it, because in fact, I'm looking at some of the folks here that are on with us right now. I know they're tremendous chefs. And we don't want to overpower what they're doing, so we're really looking to complement, and we don't want to fall over too soon either. Sure, no, you don't want to be asleep by 3 o'clock because you're going to miss dinner. Exactly. So we're going to continue our journey through Thanksgiving with Michael Cox, Falling Bright Wine Merchants. Don't go away. You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. And as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by the VIP Hero program. Love that program, not just because I created it, but I love the VIP Hero program because it allows us to help our heroes, veterans, save boatloads of money when they go to buy, sell, refinance, any kind of housing issues they have. That would be for our first responders, our active, retired, reserve, military. And in fact, I'm really excited. Saturday night, my wife and I are going to the Marine Corps Ball. It's the first time we've ever done something like that. So it's kind of we're really looking forward to that one. And thanks for some friends inviting us to join in that. 5 ways to save on health care if you don't have insurance. And that's part of the program that's coming out. That's going to be part of the Senate's plan, is saying you are not going to be forced to buy insurance any longer if their plan goes. So 5 ways to save on that. Number 1, take advantage of free care. Some employers offer flu shots, blood pressure tests, other preventative screenings. That's one of them. Try Living Social and Groupon. There are some issues there for teeth cleanings, dental x-rays, chiropractic treatments, medical massages. Sure. Number 3, use a training school for discounts. Again, that's going to only be on basic items right there. Avoid the emergency room. Data from Blue Cross Blue Shield found 63% of visits to the emergency room are not life-threatening and can be treated at an urgent care center for a fraction of the cost. Think about that. An ER visit, roughly $1,900. Urgent care, $50 to $150. And go generic. Look at the Food and Drug Administration found 8 out of 10 prescriptions are filled using generic drugs. Save some money with that one as well. That is the Word on Wealth segment, again, brought to you by the VIP Hero program. And now that we've talked about our health, self-medicating is not a bad thing. A lot of us do it, and, we continue doing it. We have no problem with it. Right? That's right online.
Yeah, I think that's great. No, anything you can do to take care of your own health is fantastic.
And if you can, in fact, one of the jokes I'm saving for, I better save it for tomorrow. Watch Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook. Got a great joke about that as well. So we're going to continue our conversation. Michael Cox is in with us. We are chatting about Thanksgiving and wine pairings. We've got all the way through halftime of the first football game. We're at about 11 o'clock or so in the morning. Starting to get geared up. The warm up is almost done for the day. The appetizers are starting to come out. So we're looking at appetizers. I'm just going to go with my menu here. Some shrimp. Might have some potato knishes.
Okay.
Little extra pepper on those, but the shrimp cocktails, I love that part.
Sure.
We'll throw the potato chips are just okay because they're not the highlight of the day. Some nice brie. Maybe put some chutney on there with a phyllo dough and some sort of a cracker.
Sounds fantastic. Yeah.
So now I got to figure out what am I gonna drink with all that.
So it's certainly with a lot of those, you're still in a great territory for white wine, and it's early in the day, so we're saving our fun reds for later on.
Okay.
But with the shrimp and the salty potato chips, the great wine that comes to mind for me is we have a wine by the gentleman I was just talking about, Dave Feeney, called Corse. It is a Vermentino. Out of Corsica, that is just amazing. Bright, refreshing, beautiful with everything you just mentioned. Chardonnay is also a lot of fun with these items as well. And then, of course, Pinot Gris gonna be fantastic also with a lot of those items you were just talking about.
Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah. You're doing. You're doing it right. You've certainly got a great setup as far as your appetizers are concerned. Those are all those white wines are going to be beautiful with it.
Pig in the Blanket. I forgot about that one.
Oh, well, that's now you're really speaking down home. I'm from Tennessee. Things like that make me excited.
Okay.
that you could even get into a light red, I mean, for something like that, it's really, that's almost like light Pinot Noir territory, depending on, what type of sausage is in that blanket,
Yeah. What was the other? Deviled eggs.
Oh man, deviled eggs again, man. Champagne, sparkling wine, just really sing with those type of items.
You're causing a problem here for me, Michael.
Tell me that.
Because I'm generally a red guy. I don't drink a whole lot of whites.
Oh, sure.
Okay. And you might, with all these good information, great information you're sharing, I might have to expand my horizon a little bit.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with drinking what you like, no matter what. Typical pairings. That's just a baseline of what is to be found pairable with a particular dish. But man, I know plenty of people that are really great friends of mine. That's all they drink are red wines. No matter what. I mean, they could be having just all the items you just mentioned. They just want red wine. I think that's great, and that's where items like Zinfandel, Pinot Noir, those are gonna be a lot of fun. It's not gonna be too heavy, so you're not chewing on your wine and not be able to taste the food that you got.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna step out a little bit because we've got the football games. We're just about a half hour from dinner. I'm gonna go grab my Kettle One martini up, three blue cheese olives, stick that right in there.
Sounds delicious.
And have that while we're getting the final preparations going for dinner. But as we get ready to sit down, obviously one of my chores, and gladly so, is to start getting out the glass. I was at a tasting the other day, and they were serving wine in plastic. It's not the best way of doing it. So we're going to grab some of the nice stemware, get ready for dinner. We're going to have, now, we're traditional. I have the Hanukkah ham, and we'll have some turkey and sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, corn casserole. They bring salad. I don't want to waste that. I can have that all year long.
Right, sure, sure.
So, sitting down for dinner, what are we pouring?
Well, it's funny, with all the wide variety that is at the Thanksgiving table, it's like, what doesn't go here?
Right, I mean, exactly.
You got so many flavors. Now, with turkey and the typical roasted manner and the herbs that are offered on the bird, there's nothing better than Zinfandel. That's fantastic. Turkey and Zinfandel all day long. What a home run hit. You're going to be so excited. The brambly red fruits that are available to you in the wine with that beautiful peppery finish, low tannins. I mean, just a match made in heaven for turkey.
And I just got a bunch of Pinot. Or what did I get?
No, you got Petite Sirah.
Petite Sirah.
Which is going to be great because you're going to love it, as a matter of fact, with the turkey. And
so that goes as well as the Zinfandel.
I think Petite Sirah, especially in this really full-bodied jammy-like quality, also being that Syrah, Grenache, also great on Thanksgiving table, this is going to be fantastic.
Okay.
And maybe, and there's some folks that go a little bit, don't take that straight and narrow path to the turkey on the table. I've got great friends who like doing buffalo ribeyes during Thanksgiving. Then you're really into that type of territory for your wine. But certainly some people do like roasted filet mignon. Of course, that's going to be great with those heavier, more full, more lush wines.
Okay.
And of course,
we don't like to use the term heavier around here, please, Michael.
Oh, sir,
I resemble that remark.
I'm going to offend somebody. Richer.
Okay, there we go.
But I mean. And then with all those sides that are on the table, I mean, you've got the cranberry sauce, you've got the green bean casserole, there's the sweet potatoes,
the yams,
yeah,
all that.
I mean,
with the marshmallows on top.
You got to be careful. If you leave that thing in the oven on the broiler too long, suddenly your marshmallows and your sweet potatoes are on fire, which is actually a really cool display as far as a visual appeal is concerned.
Well, we had Chief Brugman was here yesterday, so unfortunately, some of our friends over there at the fire department will be working, but we'll go and visit them.
Yes, they will. Remember to fry your turkeys outside, folks.
Exactly.
But there's a wealth of opportunity, and I think having an array of wines, both whites, reds, again, sneak in that rosé, are going to really be a lot of fun. But with the heavier items like the turkey, let's say you're doing the filet mignon, or those medium to full-bodied red wines are going to be fantastic. Your things like cranberry sauce, the green bean casserole. Oh, what a fantastic opportunity to enjoy that with a light Riesling or a Gewürztraminer. I mean, really, those are just going to just set the flavors of that dish on fire. They're going to really just kind of complement the dish that you're having amazingly with the wine that you're drinking. What a fantastic evening.
Now, some friends of ours, in fact, they let us use their offices here. Their tradition is a crab cook.
Oh, sure.
So, what are we doing with that?
Well, and that, I'm very fortunate. I spent a lot of my youth in Louisiana, and the crawfish and seafood boil, that whole frogmore stew idea, was something I got to experience quite a bit. And man, there is nothing better than California-style Chardonnay with those items. That delicious buttery Chardonnay with the well-integrated oak, just amazing with those items. And you've got the corn, you got the red bliss potatoes in that crab boil as well. I mean, yeah, you are in Chardonnay Viognier territory. Also going to be fantastic. Those cool Rhone with white blends, the Marsanne Roussanne blends are going to be fantastic with those items.
So from your throwing in as well, from a combination of your wine experience and your restaurateur experience.
Sure.
So how many bottles do we need? How many people per bottle or bottles per people? For not a real, I'm sure that's not great grammar, but bottles per person or people per bottle or whatever. We're not looking to get hammered. We're looking to really enjoy the wines. That's the rule of thumb.
I think, for me, and maybe I'm just a seasoned drinker, but, a bottle per person seems to work out really well, especially if you're talking about over the course of many hours, 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
You're looking at a bottle per person.
Okay.
And that, not to say that they're going to necessarily enjoy that one bottle all themselves, but yes, let's say with 6 people and you've got 6 different wines to try, people are going to go around and have a glass of each during that course of that evening. That's going to be, as we said, several hours. That's certainly okay.
Okay, so a bottle per person for the moderate drinkers, and obviously you can adjust that from there.
Yeah, sure. And if there's some left over for the next day, that's not really a problem.
Exactly. Something I saw, somebody once brought me in fact, some of my partners brought me a bottle topper. And it has our lending company name on it, and I didn't know what you do with it. I mean, I was looking at that thing. What do you do with a bottle topper? They said, well, it's for leftover wine. Leftover wine? Can you explain that to me? I don't understand that. But the other thing is I want to throw out there also is pour light. When you're at a holiday event like this, pour light. And what I mean by pour light is don't go with a full pour, because that way people get an opportunity to experience many. I mean, Michael's given us probably 10 wines already today, and we haven't even got to dessert yet, my favorite subject. So, you think about that. Pour light, pour often, and you're also going to have your wine at more appropriate temperatures. Does that make sense?
No, I think it's a great idea. As a matter of fact, especially with the wide range of food that you're going to have at the Thanksgiving table, you don't want to be stuck on one glass.
Right.
A good 2 to 3 ounce pour at a time is a great way to enjoy and get to know the wine and get to know the food around you and see what you like best.
And that's, something, you hit the most important part right there. And we're going to talk about that when we come back, because I have a most important part of the entire conversation today. And I believe, knowing Michael like I do, he's going to agree with me. So we're going to chat about that when we come back. 1 in 5 households have zero or negative wealth. That's kind of a downer to talk about as we get ready for Thanksgiving, isn't it? But we have to get the education part of the broadcast in there. You can listening to Ron Siegel Radio. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you are ready for that next mortgage, when you're ready to buy a house, the Fast Pass loan approval only at Gold Star Mortgage is geared for you. 1 in 5 American households, zero or negative net wealth. That is a shame. According to a report released this week by the Institute for Policy Studies, a progressive think tank based in Washington, D.C., what's more, an even greater share of African American, 30%, Latino, 27% households are underwater financially. The combined impact of $1 trillion in credit card debt, $1.4 trillion in student loan debt, and stagnant wages are taking a toll. U.S. homes have regained value since the Great Recession, but many households have not. Millions of American families struggle with zero or negative wealth, meaning they owe more than they own, according to this report. This means that they have nothing to fall back on if an unexpected expense comes up, like a broken down car, illness. Unbelievable. We've got to change that. We've got to really work on getting increase to our income levels. It's not an issue of trying to, it's amazing. I was at an event last night, and there's conversation out there about how do we increase minimum wage. Well, I don't want to increase minimum wage. I want to show people how to get a lot more than minimum wage. We were just chatting about the idea that Anaheim had an opportunity to bring in thousands of jobs that were all six-figure jobs, but they're too worried about dealing with minimum wage and homelessness that they're not trying to bring the tide up for everybody. To me, that's more important. That's just the thought that I have. That's the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Coach Bruce, good to see you on this morning. Good luck this weekend. Hope you guys do great. Might even come out there to see you tomorrow night. Good luck with your game. Great mentor to men. Glad to see you on with the broadcast with us today. Continuing our conversation, Michael Cox is in the house. We are chatting a bit about wines. We've gotten through a good portion of Thanksgiving, or at least preparations for Thanksgiving. We have not finished our consumption portion. It's always good to plan, but the implementation is even more fun.
Certainly. Yeah, completely agree.
Right? So we're starting to wind down. We've had a great meal. We've had our... I don't know if we've had everything. We've had turkey, ribeye, a crab cook. We've had pigs in the blanket. We've had shrimp, appetizers. Winding down the meal to the last parts of the dinner itself. Anything that we've missed consumption-wise?
I think we've talked about a lot of great wines that are really pairable with a wide variety of cuisine on Thanksgiving table. But you did mention, and I completely agree with you, we didn't cover dessert yet.
Right. We got to get to dessert. So that's where we're at, is dessert. Okay, so and you know me, I'm not into that syrupy port.
Sure. Okay.
Adelaida, the Dawn, that's my favorite.
Okay.
But
yeah,
tell
sure.
me where we're heading with that, because you're the expert. I only know what I like.
Well, and I think that's great. More than anything, you want to drink what you like, because if you don't like it, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be a good pairing.
Exactly.
I could tell you that that chocolate decadence and port is the most incredible match all day long. But if you don't like it, it's not a thing for you. However, that said, with what you're going to have on the Thanksgiving table for dessert, pecan pie, pumpkin pie, the traditional offerings, there's a couple of fun fortified wines that I do enjoy. Madeira is really, I think, a classic for the Thanksgiving table, especially when you think about the colonists and where they were coming from, being the area in which they came from, which they settled in the Mayflower, England. The Madeira was big out there. And it was certainly it's going to be a fantastic pairing with a lot of the desserts that are at the Thanksgiving table. The other wine that comes to mind, which is actually, it's kind of funny, it's a favorite of mine. There's a framboise made by Bonnie Doon. Yeah, it's a raspberry dessert wine. It's not your typical type of dessert wine that you would see, but it's truly a dessert wine made out of raspberries, and it's fantastic.
Wow!
And it is really delicious. It's not too syrupy. It does have a sweeter nuance to it, but it's a lot of fun, especially with your richer chocolate desserts, especially if you're not a port fan. There is a line of similarity there, so I don't know, it may not be your thing, but also there's a array of white dessert wines that are a lot of fun too. Muscat Alexandria is one of my favorite grapes that make a delicious dessert wine. It's very floral in its nature, has a lot of fruit-like character to it. Depending on how it's made, it can have a great realm of pairability with a wide range of desserts that are going to be on your table. And of course, if you are still into dry wines, you didn't want something to be sweet with what you're drinking with dessert. Some people say, man, sweet wine with sweet dessert, it sounds like a headache to me. Go back to that champagne that you started with, okay? Hopefully you guys didn't drink it all with your man Moses at the very beginning.
There we go.
Grab that, fill up, have some sparkling with dessert, nothing better. And there's also sweeter sparkling wines as well. Moscato d'Asti, one of those great Italian sparkling wines is fantastic. You can start with bubbles, you can end with bubbles. That
make a full circle.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I started in bed and I'm going to end up in bed.
That's right.
So
that's right.
It's a full circle with the whole thing.
That's exactly right.
So let's think about a little, being that we do every once in a while talk money on our broadcasts.
Sure.
So if we think about this concept, if I've got 6 people, 7 people, what do I need as a budget to have a nice wine selection for dinner?
So typically speaking, let's say, so we talked about that bottle per person, and let's just say 5 bottles of wine. Let's just go there, and you're going to have a range of variety there. I think that some of your white wines are going to be around the the $15 to $20 price point. Some of your red wines can, depending on what quality you're looking for, can be around $30 to $40. You're going to find good quality at that range with most producers. So I think you could spend maybe around $200 and have you some great quality wines and be excited about what you're going to have. You're not going to be pulling out grocery store fodder, that you found out the shelf at your local grocery store.
So we're not looking for the $2 chuck, but for $200 I can have a nice array of wines and an enjoyable evening.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, I think that's a great budget.
Beautiful. And so I did tease a little bit before we went to break that I have the most important part of wine drinking. And I'm going to see if I'm on the same line with our wine guru here. The most important part is to drink what you like.
That's exactly right. That's what I always say. Yeah, don't let anybody tell you what's good. I think you should definitely drink what you like. I'm just excited you're drinking wine.
Right.
I think that's really fun. And
there's some for everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
So at the restaurants you've been at, how many wines, how many different types of wines have you seen as far as labels? Hundreds, thousands?
Oh, there's thousands out there.
Okay, so there's going to be something that everybody likes. It's a matter of finding them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I believe that the easiest way of finding them for somebody, unless you've got a massive budget, is to call an expert or reach out to an expert. And so if I reach out to you, if I send an email to Falling Bright Wine Merchants and say, Michael, Tiffany, I like a red wine, light, not too heavy, not too much tannin. What kind of information do you need to make a good suggestion to me?
I think having a consultation with someone who's experienced in wine is always a good idea, especially like you said, if you don't want to waste your time and perhaps some money. But talk about flavor profiles. What have you enjoyed before? If there's a particular producer that you found that you liked, or a particular grape that you knew that you liked, those are all great bits of information to find, to get, and kind of from there you can really map a person to a beverage that they're going to find very enjoyable.
Sounds beautiful. Great information as always from Michael Cox, Falling Bright Wine Merchants. Check them out online. They are there. They've got some great selections, and they send out some really good and timely information as well. And be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Me over the limit. I'd like to call him something. I think I'll just call it a day. Pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care.
It's 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Have a great day, everybody.